Welcome to week 3, my week 3 work video, and I will be taking you through my assignment. We want to start off with the first question, which is what is Windows authentication in SQL Server? So we want to go back to Windows authentication. So we know that Windows authentication is basically Windows security which specifies security at the operating system level. That is the method by which a user connects to Windows using their Windows user account. Authentication using this subsystem is also called Windows authentication. We want to know as well, explain the difference between authentication and authorization. Authentication is mainly given, it's basically given its security at the operating system level, and this is done through the user ID and password. And then with authorization, it basically means that you are giving access or rights to another user. We want to know as well, we want to give an example of authorization in a database. So we want to go to just an example, to one of the users, and we want to give the users one of just an example on how we give authorization. So we want to go to logins, and then this is where we would give the user authorization. We'll create a user and we'll allow SQL the user access and create a password and confirm that password. Next, we want to know, number 2, it shows that we need to create two new schemas for the bowling database and 2 more from a database of my choice. So from here, I've created 2 schemas, and the 2 schemas that I've created are as follows, which would be on the bowling league. The 2 schemas that I've created would be supply chain and office. And then on the recipe example, I've created 2 schemas here as well, which is for office and admin. We also need to transfer the tables in the bowling database and the database of my choice. So we have created, we have transferred the tables from the tables into the office schema, and this is the code that we ran for that. So when we run this here, it will give us the rest of the tables. So what we want to see is, after running this command, is the tables that were created. So we want to go to the recipe and we want to see the tables that were created and the tables that were transferred into the office schema. So you can see here we created these we transferred the tables over to the office schema, and these are the tables that were transferred in the recipe example. And then in the bowling league example, we also have transferred the tables into the office schema, and these are the tables that were transferred. So we wanted to also create 4 logins, for 4 new logins and map them to each database. So how we done that is we went on to logins, and we created new logins, which is what we've done here. We've created new logins by giving the user authorization to those databases, and we were able to map it to the specific databases that were given. So we want to go into those logins that we've created. We've created user 1, user 2, user 3, and user 4. User 1 and user 2 are mapped to the bowling league, and these are the roles that we've given. And then we have user 2 that's also linked to or mapped to the bowling league database. And then user 3 and user 4 are linked to the recipe database, as you can see. So we want to see if the logins do work. We want to test that according to the show. So what we'll be doing is we will be logging out and back in as user 1. So user 1 only has so we want to log in as user 1. And user 1 should only have access to the bowling league database and not to any of the other databases, as we can see. So same as database, it's same as user 2. User 2 should only have access to the bowling league database. So we'll test that. You can see we can view what's happening on the database. And then as for the rest of the databases, it will not show anything. User 3 and user 4 are linked to the recipe database. And as you can see, when we go onto the recipe, it should give us access. As for the rest of the other databases, it won't allow. Same for user 4. Should only give us access to the recipe database and not to the others. Moving on to number 3. It says that we need to create a list of the DCL or grant commands to assign to every future entry user or give of a given database. So here we'll basically just give authorization to the users. And by doing so, we want to show all DCL code, the process you use to create a role with the needed DCL authorization commands, proof that the new role works. So we want to go on to the databases that we've chosen. Let's exit here and log in as the main user. So we're going to the bowling league database and security users. user one. And this is how I've granted the different authorizations, is through this way. And we want to search the user, go to all objects of types, and then we'll go to tables, and we will then select the different tables and what access do we want to grant the user, or what authorization we want to grant the user. So in this case, we can select insert and delete, and this is what the user will only will be given access to. And after we select that, we'll see, I just want to run the script to show the commands. Let's do another one. So let's go to tables. Let's select a new table and grant, delete, insert, and I select. So this is what the user will be able to do on these tables. So before we do that, we want to script and then okay. So this is the command when we are granting the user authorization on those tables. So we want to test to see if it works. For user one, we created these access on the user. So we want to move on to the fourth show, to the last question. And so far what I've came up with is, so we want to see what we can select from the dictionary, to see if we can get a query and results that include the data dictionary information showing evidence of something you did in this assignment. So I have selected this command, and when I run it, it will show basically it should show the server role members. Okay, so after putting down the command, it should then show how to the roles of the roles of the users. That is all. Thank you so much.